So for this election season, we Black Americans have been talking a lot about a third option as far as voting in November. And that third option is the couch, right? A lot of us are saying, you know what, maybe I'm just going to sit on the couch and watch the returns and eat some popcorn or whatever the case is. But the premise of sitting on the couch is I don't love either candidate, so I'm not going to vote for either candidate. I'm just going to sit home and let everybody else make the decision, right? And I actually love that because not voting is a choice, right? So, anyway, all I ask is that while we are sitting on that couch and eating our popcorn, or if you're greedy, your hot wings, let's be thinking about how we can help move the ball forward because regardless of who's in that White House, whether it's Trump or Biden, it is going to get worse and worse for us as Black people here in America. Neither one of them are going to go to the White House and do anything demonstratively for Black people. They're just not, right? They're not going to go in there and write reparations checks for Black Americans. They're not going to give us our 40 acres or a mule or any of that other stuff. In fact, they're going to do for everybody else. They just are. So while we're sitting on that couch, we need to think about and get a pencil and paper and write down how do we unify as Black Americans? How do we do that? How do we lessen the blow of what's going to come after November's election? We need to do as our ancestors have told us. Marcus Garvey, he said, what? Say it with me. Up, you mighty nation. Accomplish what you will. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Farrakhan have all said, accept your own, be yourself, and what? Do for self. Dr. Claude Anderson says, what? Say it with me. We need to practice group economics, right? Which means that we own and control businesses. We build schools. We are save our money, and we're able to buy into politics and influence the courts like everybody else does, right? They all do it, and we just start building our community up again, where we stop depending on everybody else. Now, listen, when I say that, I'm not saying we don't need our money because we do, and we're gonna keep trying until we get our reparations check, right? But in the meantime, there's things that we need to be doing because we can't just sit on the couch. And in fact, once the election is over, we need to get on off the couch, right? And start saying, okay, family. Because a lot of times we say family to other people on the internet, but I'm talking about your family that you live with. Have y'all had those conversations of, hey, this is how we practice group economics. Okay, stop spending all this money on clothes and going out and things we don't need. Let's pool this money together so we can buy a property, and rent it out or whatever, wash, rinse, repeat like everybody else. And they also said in this economy that people are moving in together more and more because they cannot afford to live on their own. But guess what? Other communities were already doing that. The Asians, Hispanics, and everybody else, they were already living together, 10, 15, sometimes 20 or more in a house. Yeah, they got on each other's nerves, but guess what? They're like, we're trying to achieve a goal, and that's get another house, and we're going to wash, rinse, repeat. Then we're going to own the block. We're going to own the grocery store. We're going to have our own hospitals. We're going to have our own schools. Yeah, we're going to continue to get stuff from the government, but guess what? We are not solely dependent upon the government, even though in a lot of cases the government gave them a hand, out and a leg up. They've used that to their advantage, but guess what? We as Black Americans see about $1.7 trillion of money every year here. And so, unfortunately, we give away 97% of that to those same people I just mentioned that are wash, rinsing, and repeating. So, while we're sitting on that couch, think about what the next step is to bring us up here in America as Black people. Because, as I said, and it's been said before by a lot of other people, it does not get better for us until we start participating as a well-oiled machine, as a functional unit like everybody else does, right? So anyway, y'all tell me what you think of that. And for more insightful commentary, please subscribe to this channel and my channel, The Demetra Kaye Show, here on